So this is a maggot brain. I'm James Governor from Red Monk. This is the Smoking Goat. And this is another episode of Opinionated Infrastructure. So when we came in, the waiter immediately came over, asked my cameraman, oh, you want a Diet Coke? I said, it's my birthday week, so I think I deserve a cocktail. A restaurant's a great place to think about observability. So what even is observability? It's a buzzword in the industry right now. It's like a lot of chatter about it, definite sort of thought leadership, people out there, practitioners, all sorts of people thinking about what exactly does this mean? Because the way that we manage systems is changing, because the way that we build systems is changing. Building microservices, we've got these distributed applications, the components running all over the place, non-deterministic systems. By definition, any distributed system is non-deterministic. How do you manage that? How do you understand the system? How do you understand the baseline? How do you look and zoom into the changes? There is one definition of observability, which is really, look, it's pretty straightforward. It's really about bringing everything together in this new world. We've got different data sources, so we're gonna bring in our logs, we're gonna bring in our traces, we're gonna bring in our metrics, and we're gonna have one set of data that we can query in order to understand system performance. That kind of makes sense. Twitter's been doing that for years. They were one of the first people that reinvigorated this conversation around observability when they did a blog post about the observability platform back in 2013. But really, and I think this is where the restaurant thing comes into it, there's another view of observability, which is much more based on what's the user experience like? What do we do in terms of understanding a system without bringing it down? We're gonna be debugging in production. That's kind of like what we do in a restaurant. If things go wrong, how do you deal with that? When we think about a restaurant, it's all about services for me as an end user. One of the things I like to see is that the staff are watching me. One of the signs that a restaurant isn't going to offer good service is when everyone's looking inwards and they're all talking to each other and they're not looking at the customer. Sure, you can have the tick list where somebody takes the order and then they come after the first course and they're like, oh, excuse me, how was your food? Or, is everything okay? But that's no good if the rest of the time they're all looking and talking at each other. You want that looking up, observing the system, looking at the customer experience in order to understand what's going on. You want that sort of experience from a restaurant. May we please have some chili sauce wings, the lamb spice mackerel, that's the fried one, yeah? Look at that. Oh, that's opinionated infrastructure. Be careful because it's hot, hot, hot. So in terms of the baseline, it's worth knowing that we do eat in here fairly regularly. Thank you. My boy Jack loves the fish sauce that goes with the wings. He will literally drink this by the pint. So observability is about understanding the behavior of the system without interrupting the behavior of the system. We need to be able to see what's going on. We need to be able to make decisions accordingly. We need to be able to query and interrogate the performance of the system without an expectation that it's something static. We understand the system by looking at its outputs. That's observability. This is Smoking Goat, and that is opinionated infrastructure.